partly because I've on it and also gone through how the judiciary has the cases of Delhi riots, especially the larger conspiracy case where 21 of them have been accused under the UAPA and several sections of other laws. Umar Khalid has been in jail for more than 1400 days now. Along with 20 others, he has been accused of hatching a conspiracy that led to the deadly Delhi riots in February 2020. Organizing chakka jams, being part of WhatsApp groups, delivering an obnoxious speech in the words of the Delhi High Court. And many other allegations have been leveled against him by the Delhi police. Umar and 20 others have been charged under the draconian anti-terror law UAPA. And Salim Malik, who took part in the anti-CAA protests and helped with food distribution at one of the protest sites, he was 39 years old when he was imprisoned on the same charges as Umar. He's 43 years old now. 4 years have passed. His 4 kids are growing up fatherless. Gulfisha Fatima was 27-year-old and was an aspiring teacher when she was jailed in this larger conspiracy case. Hi there version. News media outlet Scroll had tracked down 2 or 3 of these cases, and they told the reporter that the police had coerced them, pressured them to implicate many of the 21 accused in this case. These tactics, fabricating evidence, giving of false evidence, these are widespread in our justice system, and the police usually get away with it. But the credibility of the witness can only be tested during cross-questioning, which takes place at the trial stage. The cases of these political prisoners will take another 5 or 7 or maybe 10 years, we don't know, to reach that trial stage. So in the meanwhile, the law allows them to be enlarged on bail while they await for their trial. But laws like UAPA, laws like the PMLA make that almost impossible. Yet the courts have found a way today. Very recently there was a bench of the Supreme Court which said that courts can grant bail even under UAPA if there is delay in trial. But will the other bench of this, the role that the courts are playing also needs to be put on record. What is happening in the case of Delhi riots, larger conspiracy case before the Delhi High Court is nothing but a great travesty of justice, travesty of the highest order. 3 of these individuals got bail from the Delhi High Court in June. I'm saying because this chronology is very important. One, Devangana Kalita, Natasha Narwal and Asif Iqbal Tanha got bail, and thank God for that. The bail order also substantially watered down the UAPA and strictly defined what constitutes terrorist activities so that it is not misused by the state. Of course, this interpretation was quickly stayed by the Supreme Court, but it allowed the 3 individuals to remain out on bail. In the Delhi High Court, Umar filed his bail plea in April 2022. A 2-judge bench headed by Justice Siddharth Mridul, after 5 months, rejected his bail plea. Initially, his bench was very concerned about the word Jumla being used by him against the Prime Minister. Obnoxious speech, the judges had said. Umar challenged this rejection before the Supreme Court, and I will come to what happened to that petition in a few minutes. During the same time, the later half of 2022, 9 other Muslim individuals, after facing a defeat at the lower courts, moved the Delhi High Court seeking bail. The manner in which the Delhi High Court is treating, continues to treat, because most of their petitions have not been disposed of till date. The manner in which the Delhi High Court is treating their petitions is worth noting. The great apathy of the system is at display in their cases. Now, please remember that their cases have moved through 4 benches today. 4 different benches have heard or are hearing his case, their case. All the 8 or 9 individuals who are before the High Court. All of their petitions were initially clubbed together before the same special bench that rejected Umar's bail plea. After listing each of their bail applications anywhere between 34 to 60 times, bail petitions were listed for 34 to 60 times, the bench still failed to pass a judgment. In Mohammed Salim's case, in Salim Malik's case, and in Shifa ur Rahman's case, this bench did not pass its judgment for more than 6 months, despite arguments having concluded and judgment reserved. It is unusual, the lawyers had told me when I was reporting on this matter. It mostly does not happen in our courts. But why is it that it is happening in their court? In the meanwhile, the senior judge on the bench, Justice Siddharth Mridul, was made the Chief Justice of Manipur High Court and was transferred. So eventually the bench broke, and all the 9 cases were then sent before a new bench by the end of 2023. This second bench, again a 2-judge bench headed by Justice Suresh Kumar Kair, did not show any hurry to decide their bail appeals, pending anywhere between 11 to 19 months before the Delhi High Court. Bail petitions have been pending for almost 2 years now. It rejected only Salim Malik's bail plea in April this year. And very interesting, please note this fact, that during the arguments in the case, the bench did not allow his lawyers to argue on the merits of the case. But their judgment rejecting the bail was on merits of the case. We don't know why. The second bench even continued listing those cases where arguments were concluded by both the parties instead of reserving the judgment. When this was brought to the attention of the judges, nothing happened. And we don't know why. Now comes the third bench. The roster of the judges in the Delhi High Court changed in the meanwhile, and the bench therefore broke, and the cases were then shifted before the third bench. And the arguments then would have had to happen all over again. But fortunately or unfortunately, one of the judges recused, and the matter then was sent to the Chief Justice of the Delhi High Court, who again assigned it to the fourth bench. And this fourth bench is again headed by Justice Kair, along with one other judge, who is a new judge. And therefore, I don't know if the case will have to be reheard all over again. 2 days ago, it was reported that this fourth bench has pushed the hearings in Umar's case and the rest of them to the end of August. Now, there is simply no hurry to decide bail applications that are now pending for as long as 26 months. Now, we also know for a fact that earlier this month, the senior judge on this fourth bench, Justice Kair, was recommended for Chief Justiceship of Jammu and Kashmir High Court. So, in all probability, he will make his way to that High Court, and this fourth bench will again be broken up, and perhaps all these bail petitions will have to go before a fifth bench, which will again have to hear the entire case altogether. And then the entire process will follow, the judgment will be reserved, and we don't know when the judges will deliver their judgment. It must make one think why this is happening. A free mind will think, a critical mind will think. One parliamentarian recently in a speech said that judges of high courts are kowtowing before the Supreme Court Collegium and government of the day for last-minute elevations so that they can hold on to judgeship for a longer period of time and perhaps for better positions. This is a parliamentarian saying this on the floor of the House. These are questions that cannot be stopped from being asked through the fear of contempt of court. There is a clear pattern on display today.